Alright, hi everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Chaos Head.
実はあの将軍のメール、ナナのいたずらなんだ。
What?
Huh?
I didn't understand what Nanami was saying. I became her. I became dazed.
つまり将軍ってナナだったの。最初からずっと。
Yeah, right, in your fucking dreams. Now wake the fuck up.
お兄があまりにもナナの相手してくれないから、ちょっとからかうつもりで、つい。だからね、ナナは誰にも何にもされてないし、全くピーピーしてるよ。お兄が泣くことなんてないの。わかった？お前。
I was relieved. Even his knowledge of her deception made me think of how ridiculous. Don't fuck around with me. Being reassured made even bigger tears come spilling out of me.
叫んだよ。ごめん、本当にごめんね、お兄。差し入れ持ってきたから、それで許して。
Holding up a hand in supplication as she apologized to me, Nanami cheerfully brought a paperboard box out from where it had been hiding in a corner of the room. Inside were 4 little cakes, 2 Mont Blancs and 2 cheesecakes. Cheesecakes are fucking disgusting.
どう？美味しそうでしょ？まあ、当然だよね。ナナの手作りだもん。お兄のために作ったんだからね。
Buffa, disagree, my ass.
ほら、一緒に食べよう。
Nanami set the box on top of my computer desk and put 2 cakes each on 2 paper plates, which she had prepared somehow or other.
ねえお兄、ナナのこと心配してくれてありがとう。
Sure.
すごく嬉しかった。お兄にもいいところあるじゃん。泣いちゃったのはちょっと情けなかったけどね。
Shut up, you little liar. My pride had gone from tatters from how I'd been totally fooled and had shed tears to boot. What an idiot I was.
でも、お兄がナナのお兄でよかった。
She smiled at me merrily. A scene that was just a wee bit more peaceful than usual. How nice it would have been if this were the scene that came next. And that should be the final line. Yep. Oh, wait. Right, it amounted to no more than a convenient delusion of mine. Even now, Nanami still hadn't answered the phone. Someone's ringtone kept reverberating through the room. An air-headed melody that stood in a stark contrast to my psychological state. My mood verged on despair. This had to signify that Nanami's cell phone was in my room. I couldn't think of any alternatives. I could no longer avert my eyes from reality. P.S. Have you accepted my present? It was a lie. It was a categorical lie. No matter what, it simply was too ridiculous. I lowered a hand holding my phone at a snail's pace. I couldn't do so much as blink. My throat was achingly dry. Even so, I sought out the sound's origin. This time I slowly moved my eyes across each of the items strewn around in this room. I savagely detested myself for having never attempted to tidy up my room. If I kept it organized, I'd soon have known where I was hearing it from. Where the hell was the sound coming from? Oh no. Oh no. No way. That's sick, yo. That means he really did. That's gonna be fucked up. Oh boy. That's gonna get fucked up in a moment here. I heard the melody from inside the box. It was about the size of 2 arrogant boxes lined up next to another. You know what that fucking means? That fucking means he knows where 1, we live, and 2, he has her sister, and 3, he had her cell phone. And 4, he somehow got into this fucking room. What? It was about the size of 2 arrogant boxes lined up next to one another. I thought it was a box from an online purchase, but there was no flyer or anything to go with it, nor was there an invoice mentioning the sender. But it was firmly sealed with packing tape. Had there always been a box this large sitting over here? Had it fallen off my bed in the earthquake? Or did Shogun materialize it inside your room with his special powers like you used on Ayase? That would be pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I'd never seen this box before to begin with. If it were something I'd ordered, I'd opened it as soon as it arrived. If it were an auction item, I'd have sent it off as soon as I taped it closed. It occurred to me that perhaps Nanami had brought something for me in it, but I had no recollection of her carrying a present over in a cardboard box like this. In short, during the span of the hour when I'd gone to school, someone had come here. Shogun, I'll send you a present, blah blah. I'll be delighted if it pleases you. Yep, that's... The pulse in my chest grew violent. I hastily double-checked the padlock on the door. Told you we'd be getting fucked up. A chill ran down my back. Earlier, when I'd staggered out of the base, I couldn't remember having locked the door behind me. Which was natural enough, because at the time I'd been tormented by a stabbing migraine, and my consciousness was hazy. When I returned from school an hour later, the door had been locked. Anyone could have been free to enter. Had Shogun come here? I looked at the box again. The melody continued ringing. Nanami's cell phone was inside it. I gingerly picked up that cardboard box. Heavy. Oh boy. Far too heavy for me to think a cell phone was the one thing inside it. It's gonna be her school bag. Going by what it felt like, it was about the same as a 500 milliliter juice container. What? I hesitated to open it. I had an incredibly bad feeling. Fucking open it! But I couldn't come up with any way to deal with it other than opening it. Besides, I was worried about Nanami. She was an impudent little sister, but she was my little sister all the same. Nanami's cell phone was inside here, or to put it differently, someone had taken Nanami's cell phone away from her. Let's start the Nanami-chan rescue quest. So Shogun had written in his email. I looked at the clock. It was 7:30. Another hour and a half left until the designated time. Nanami might be in danger? I had no choice but to open it. My pulse wouldn't slow. Sweat poured heavily from my forehead. I wiped my sweat with the back of my hand and, groaning, began peeling off the packing tape stuck to the box. How about you try stopping being such a fucking little bitch? Jesus fucking Christ, man. Holy crap. Do you even have a fucking penis? Muttering to myself as though praying, I opened the top flaps. Oh boy. Inside it was a lump wrapped in aluminium foil. Styrofoam peanuts were neatly stuffed in there alongside it. I peeked in timidly, but I couldn't spot a phone. I heard the melody from inside the lump of aluminium foil. Sweat entered my eyes, making them sting. My whole body had gotten soaked in sweat without my knowing it. I had enough. But why was I the one who ended up like this? I was on the verge of voicing my gripes. I sought words of deliverance from Saradan, but she wouldn't say anything to me. And that sound was getting really loud. A whole range of delusions were swirling around in my head, on the brink of exploding, to the point that I couldn't have imaginary conversations with Saradan. The heightening of my emotions made my nerve endings seem about to burn apart, but the cell phone's carefree melody mercilessly urged me on. Bracing myself, I pinched the edges of the aluminium foil in my fingers. Closed my eyes, held my breath, and ripped all the aluminium foil off at once. Yep, I heard the melody more clearly now. I was afraid to open my eyes. I strove to collect my breathing, but it didn't go well at all. It would be okay, it was fine, there wasn't going to be anything bad there. Except for a fucking chopped off arm with a cell phone in it. It was probably a prank by Nanami anyway. No doubt Nanami would come into the room sooner or later, saying, "Yeah, I got you," with a smile. Yeah, that had to be it. I couldn't consider anything else. If so, I'd scold her with all my might and I'd never listen to a thing she said again. Right, tell me that's how it is, Nanami. Here we go. I couldn't stand to close my eyes. I couldn't stand to close my eyes and keep on gazing at darkness any longer. Being unable to see it had the opposite effect, making me envision only awful delusions. Which was why I softly opened my eyelids. I saw it. Alright, what the fuck's gonna be? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, I told you! Jesus Christ, man! He cut off her arm. What the fuck is wrong with you, Shogun? Holy shit, isn't it? I called it! Holy crap, I cannot believe this has to be a delusion. Well, there goes the no Guro trigger for this episode. What lay there was a hand. A slender, cleanly severed hand. Look at this, baby. It held the same cell phone model as mine. And its wrists were... Yup. That's gonna be some... that's gonna be some nightmare fuel. Woo, baby. Jesus fuck! That's loud. I'm going to leave that as loud as it is for me because holy crap. Oh wait, what did that say? I was so confuzzled. Wow. A bangle whose yellow leather band had gone scarlet. Oh, sweet.
ここからは少し専門的な話になりますが。
君は元医師だろ。患者に説明するように分かりやすく簡潔に話してもらえるとありがたい。
努力しましょう。さて、人間の脳の中にある何億という脳細胞。それらは細い神経の糸を出し合って、それぞれに手をつないでいるような格好をしています。しかし実際には各神経の先端にある手と手の間にはごくわずかな隙間が空いているんですよ。脳細胞に情報の電気信号が送り出されると、その神経の手のひらから極小の物質ドーパミンがボールのように飛び出してきます。それは反対側の神経の手のひらにキャッチされ、再度情報の電気信号に変わってまた隣の脳細胞に伝わっていく。脳の構造は簡単に言うとその繰り返しです。我が社が開発した第2世代ノア2はこの部分に干渉することで人に疑似的な映像を見せることを可能としました。
ホログラムのようなものか。
あるいは幻覚かな。
幻覚の方が近いでしょう。ですが明確に違う点として、その疑似的映像は確かな存在感があるものとして映るということです。人間の目、視覚というのは実に興味深いものです。視野は単眼の場合、鼻側60度、耳側100度程度、両眼の重複視野は120度で、周辺視野を含めれば180度から200度もの視界が広がっているんです。その一方で、以前ご説明したようなデッドスポットもまた存在する。脳にとって視覚とは最もつながりの深い部位です。脳はそのおよそ 80% を視神経情報の処理のためだけに使っている。
Seriously, that seemed like a bit fucking much, but okay.
その点については300人委員会も注目しておる。
人間の視覚にはまだまだ謎が多い。世界中で研究テーマとして上がっているものだけでも1000以上に及ぶからね。
アメリカで数年前に発行された行政命令、機密の人体研究に対する保護の強化というのは委員会による圧力ですか？
圧力ではない。これは選定だよ。
300人委員会はどこの馬の骨とも知れん研究者がこの分野に足を踏み入れることを歓迎せん。当然ながらアメリカだけではなく世界各国にも同様の指示は出ている。
我が国は随分自由のようですね。私のような人間を放置しているぐらいですから。
勘違いしてはいかんな。何のために我々がいると思っている？
君はすでに選定済みなんだよ。だからこそ君には何よりも成果が求められている。
300人委員会をも出し抜けるような成果というわけですね。
うかつな口を聞くなと言っておる。
今はまだ我らの真の目的を誰にも悟られてはならない。たとえ委員会に対してもね。
これは失礼。
説明を続けたまえ。
ノア2が生み出した疑似的映像は視神経パルスに変換して電磁波として照射します。対象の皮膚や頭蓋骨を貫通して直接ドーパミン受容体、つまり先ほどの説明でいうところの手のひらにキャッチさせるのです。そしてデッドスポットへと最終的に落とし込まれる。特に G レートの高いエリアの人々は空中の映像パルス信号を敏感にキャッチします。混乱した脳はその疑似的映像を現実だと判断することになります。これが人間の視界の中に無から有を作り出すメカニズムです。ノア2を用いれば街中のどこを見ても先生の選挙ポスターだらけなどという芸当も容易というわけです。ただしあくまで人々のバイオリズムが高い状態であることが条件ですね。
幻覚によって意志を誘導するか。沈黙の兵器とシステムは同じというわけだね。条件さえ満たせば対象の見ている世界を自在に書き換えることができる。
それはギガロマニアックスと同等の力ということか？
その通りです。ノア2は機械仕掛けのギガロマニアックスと言ってもいいでしょう。理論値通りに稼働を始めればギガロマニアックスたちと同等、いや近い将来それ以上の能力を再現できるようになります。
だが効果の有効範囲はどうなっている？電磁波は垂れ流しなのかね？
それでは汎用性という点がおろそかになる。我々は無差別な洗脳を望んでおるわけではない。対象は選定できなければ無意味だぞ。
ご心配なく。そのために機能因子を用意してあります。モニターをご覧ください。
なんだこの小汚い連中は。
小汚いなんて。
我が社ではポーターと呼んでいます。言い換えればマインドコントロールのための部隊といったところでしょうか。彼らが背負っているリュックの中にはノア2のパルス波を送受信するためのポートが入っています。ポートは信号を受け取るとリモートで周囲へと放出するわけです。
歩く端末というわけか。それならば有効範囲の制限などないに等しいな。
限定的使用も問題ないことになるね。
状況は理解した。貴様は引き続き計画を続行したまえ。
ただし300人委員会に悟られるような言動はくれぐれも慎むよう。
あとは何人犠牲を出そうと構わん。
ご理解いただきありがとうございます。それではポーターとして使える人材を提供していただきたいです。
手配しよう。
それと引き続き先生方にはメディアのコントロールをお願いいたします。すべては我ら3人の目指す理想のため。
タッキー、ねえタッキー、聞こえてるっしょ？
聞こえてるよセーラタン。
あのさ、もうこのゲーム終わりにしようよ。
ゲーム？
ナナミッチはタッキーの大事な妹だってのはわかるけど、きっともう手遅れだよ。
そんなことないよ。
だって腕を切り落とされちゃったらさ、普通出血多量で死んじゃうっしょ。ゲームだったら違うかもだけど。
なんでナナミは。
もうさ、ゲームオーバーなんだよ、きっと。早くゲームをやめないともっとたくさん人が死んじゃう。
でもセーラタンだって悪いやつと戦ってるじゃないか。
だって私はアニメだもん。
I jammed my Seraton's figure into my uniform's inner pocket.
助けなきゃ。僕が。
I'd taken Seraton with me as a protective charm. Under ordinary circumstances, I'd never even carry a figure around with me. If nothing else, there was the danger that I'd get damaged too, that it'd get damaged too. As an otaku, breaking one of my darling wives was my #1 taboo. I understand this. But I could no longer afford to maintain that policy of mine, for now I wanted moral support. I might not even be alive tomorrow, but I took one last peek down at Seraton, whose face stuck out from the inside my pocket. By doing so, I somehow succeeded in fighting back my seeping tears. Somebody collided with me from behind, and I staggered. When I looked over, the thuggish man was giving me a disagreeable stare, but he didn't complain to me and soon disappeared into the crowd. I surveyed the area. There should be a scrambled crossing. There was a vast crowd of people, one that made it hard to think it was 9 on a weekday night, not to mention a day when an earthquake with over 100 fatalities had taken place. I felt like I was about to suffocate just from waiting for the light to change. Front, back, right, left, people were everywhere, and all of them were raising their voices as one great mass, as if they were cheering on teams in a soccer match. And I gotta go. So I'll see you guys next time.